Hi, I'm Becky Matthews with One-on-One Learning Center. I'd like to share a quick tip with you today for reading decoding words for upper elementary middle school students. Often we teach our basic reading, we teach that at kindergarten to second grade, the ages 4 or 5 years on up to about 6, 7, sometimes 8. Then as the students get older, we are teaching them through reading, and then we're playing on and building on with that with the vocabulary strategies. So what often happens for a student who is a hesitant reader, a struggling reader, or even just not a confident student, when they get to some words that intimidate them, they back off and they're not as confident about approaching those as maybe their peers are. So teachers and parents, we need to kind of step back and look and see if we've got a hesitant learner when it comes to reading, even when they get older. Because it doesn't mean we have to stop and start all the way back at the foundations of reading. What we can do is embed and build upon what's already happening in the classroom. So for instance, a lot of times in a classroom, teachers are teaching vocabulary, and they're learning new vocabulary words for the upper elementary and the middle school students, and even in high school. They're learning root words, prefixes, suffixes, and so sometimes they'll have a list of words, and it might not be for reading literature class per se. It might be for another class. So watch out for that and use that opportunity to teach some reading if the child's struggling. This strategy helps with decoding words, but it also helps with comprehension. So it goes along with the sorting strategy that a lot of the students do in elementary school, where they sort their words. So if you have a lot of words and that where your students are learning, or the children are learning, the prefix miss, and then they have some other prefixes and suffixes they're learning in that same list, and the students can sort it, even those older students. And then you can do this. So you can have them to make the words flashcards. Here I just use construction paper. You can even just let them use their notebook paper. I use different colors because that helps the brain just as a signal that these all are grouped differently. They're all kind of segmenting this word, and it helps us to see where the chunking is. It kind of just helps to get that brain trained to chunk those words. So we've got miss, lead, ing. And I would get the student to make this, and then get the student to cut it apart and work with them and help them, and then let them finish up the list on their own. Then once you have all that done, and then they've cut them apart, then what you can do is you can take out, if you have multiples of a prefix and multiples of a suffix, you can take that out, and you can then say, now let's combine to make new words. So you see here I have the word spell. So we know that we can take miss and ing and make misspelling, and so then they could just move those along from here, and they could move it, and then that helps them to be doing. So they've got the kinesthetic, the tactile learning, they got the visual where they're looking at it, and then the auditory if they're talking about it, they're saying it aloud if they're in a small group. So that's just a quick little example of how you can continue to work with students and help them with their decoding skills, even in those upper grade levels, but not stop and change their instruction and modify it so that they're missing out and unable to build in the areas that they are totally ready to build upon. It's just those little glitches and teaching some strategies. I hope this was helpful. If you want more information, you may email me at help@oneononelearningcenter.com.